So as you may have guessed from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about notes from outside the scale, pre-bending them, and how you can work them into blues, rock, or metal context. I'm not going to do any tabs on this, and it's intentional because I want to give you a skeleton or a framework, and that you can create your own licks around them and make it your own thing, because that's how you really learn things when you sort of take your own initiative and learn about yourself instead of just reading the tab sets. It's the purpose of this thing. So I'm going to play these examples, or at least the framework of the example, in A minor. All of them are going to focus upon one shape, which is this one here. This, if you think of the A minor arpeggio, so it's that kind of sweep shape that most people probably know, but with the root here instead. In terms of the pentatonic blues stuff, you could think of it as a pentatonic shape starting here. If you're a 3-note per string player, you could think of the Aeolian scale. So the idea here is to take a note that's not commonly in the scale, bend it into the scale, and that way you can give a bit more flavour. So when you're doing that, because with most guitars, say you're bending, say you got this note here, right, and I'm putting vibrato on it, my vibrato is only going up. If you bend up to the note, you can have a vibrato that goes up and down. So it sounds a bit more like a slide, or as if you're using a whammy bar. As a result, it also sounds more vocal or a bit more like a violin because you're allowing the vibrato to go back, both up and down. So it can sound really expressive. This is an idea that I picked up from Marty Friedman, and I've applied throughout my guitar playing life in as many ways as I can because I just think it sounds awesome. So I'll break it down. Well, a few things you can do if we're looking at the blues scale. That's probably a good place to start. Because you got that blue note, right? The sharp 4, the flat 5, however you want to think about it. That one there. There's a few things we can do to play about with that one. So I'll just stick with this one here since that's the one I've gone for. I can bend that up a tone to get to the 5th. So instead of just going, you could go. You could also put a pre-bend in. So a pre-bend, in case you don't know, is when you bend the note and then hit it rather than hit it and bend. So pre-bend, you bend the note, then hit it. So probably take a bit of practice to get your intonation to be as good as your bending. Because when you're bending and aiming up to the note, you get a bit of chance to kind of go, hang on, and get yourself to the pitch. With a pre-bend, you're kind of putting faith in your muscle memory that it's going to be the right pitch. So that might take a little bit of getting used to. So if I did that with a pre-bend, I could put a bit of vibrato on that, that might sound quite good. So that one I did again there, what I was targeting was the 4th of the scale, and I was coming from the major 3rd. So that would work really well in a blues or kind of mixolydian content, because you're referencing the major 3rd. So that's one using the blue note up to the perfect 5th. We can also target the blues note, and this is going to sound quite sour, but it does let you then resolve it up to the 5th. I've probably spoken a bit too much, so I'll just play that and see what I mean. So, say we went again, just got up the scale. I'm on the 4th, and I'm going to go up. I'm going to bend up to here. So it's pretty dissonant, but from here we could bend again. Oops. Or you could even pre-bend up to the sharp 5. And then if you got this note pre-bent with either your 1st or 2nd finger, what you can actually do is just put a finger on the fret above, and hopefully it'll sound more or less like the 5th. So for example, what I did there, got the 4th here, bent up just a semitone. So the note it is the sharp 5, pretty disgusting interval. But I'm putting my finger on, just, same string but a fret above. So it's going to sound, this note's going to sound a bit out. Right? So you're playing that, release the bend, and you can pull off. So that other bend that I did there is bending the 2nd up to the 3rd. So that's in, in Aeolian. It's in the Aeolian scale, but it's not in the blues one, so you do get quite a nice. And I did the exact same thing there. What I did was I went a note from below the root and just bent up to it. So you can get these really nice kind of slide bluesy kind of things going on if you just. And again, I just did the same move there. What I did was I bent the 2nd up to the 3rd, took the flat 2nd so it's out of scale, bent up to the 2nd in the scale, and then I went to the major 7th, which is again chromatic note, bent up to the tonic. So this works really well if you're using it to follow a chord. So if we did have an A minor underneath us, the notes we'd want to target for resolving a lick. You don't want to stay on them too much, otherwise it'll just sound like just sound like an arpeggio or an exercise. You want the root, flat 3, and 5. Those are going to be the ones to target. After that, you can get. They start to get a bit dissonant, but not too dissonant. The 2nd is quite nice because it implies a 9th chord, which is quite a pleasing sound. The 7th can be okay, particularly if you're playing over a minor 7 chord. That'll work nicely. Then the 4 is going to be quite tense, but again still nice. And then your sharp 4, flat 5, if you're looking at the blues scale kind of thing, that's going to be quite dissonant. And then flat 6 is, in my view, is probably a bit more dissonant again, but it's quite cool for adding tension. So you could do something like so I'm just kind of bending up to it from the note below. I don't really want to go into Dorian because you do have the major 6, which is quite consonant, and again you could do like a something like that. So the lick I played at the beginning, I was kind of messing about with here, and this is the exact same idea as I played here, but I just moved them up the octave. So we did this thing where we're bending up, bending up the sharp 4, or bending up to that note. Sort of thing. Yeah. So you could bend up to the 4th, go up to the sharp 4th, and then you could even go to the 5th. And if we want to make it really cool, what we can do is we can pre-bend the note, go down and go back up, then do that little run. So you could go like, put a wee bit more gain on so you get some more sustain. So you can see there's a lot of potential to make it sound, Chris Poland would be another example. Chris Poland, also a Megadeth guitarist. Dave Mustaine must really like that sound of, getting this kind of outside but also inside sound. So you're making it a bit more interesting than just, there's loads of stuff you can do. So the things I would start off with are the prebend. So just go in a semitone, and once you get the prebend thing alright, hammering on the note above. Once you're getting that down, you can start to do kind of things like over a tone. So we could go like. And then you can get into the territory of compound bends as well. So say I take this note and I bend up to here. So what I'm doing there is bending up to this one, releasing the bend down to this one, and down to here. So I don't think I'll try this, but I probably won't be able to do it. I'll try and go between that one and that one by just bending. So I wasn't paying attention and went far too much out of key there, but hopefully you'll get the general idea of what you can do with prebends, or at least a small amount of what you can do. There's loads more, but I think I've gone on a bit too long and I don't want to waste any more of your time. So as always, please like, comment, subscribe and share if you feel so inclined. If you don't, that is totally fine, but I do very much appreciate these small tokens. Cheers!